Hey, hey, what's up, everybody? It is Sunday morning. We only got a couple more days left in the before the new year, and I wanted to do another interview and introduce another one of these fabulous women that I know. Her name is Amy Morford, and she is a dog behavior specialist. I had the extreme pleasure of actually being on in a program with her earlier in the year, and able to get to know her a little bit better while we were going through the program. And I was kind of amazed at all of the insights she had to share about how to teach dogs behavioral training, all these little tricks that she had to help the dogs understand their owners a little bit better and help the training move forward a little more smoothly. So if I can just get her to jump on with me here, I want to introduce you guys to Amy Morford. She owns another page as well called German Shepherd Country, and yeah, she does a lot of trainings in person as well as online trainings. From what I remember, the last time we had a really in-depth conversation, she was putting together courses that people could buy and learn to train their dogs. They were including training videos on how to actually speak to and approach the dog as far as the training is concerned. So just a moment, she should be hopping on here any second. Let's see. Are y'all ready for the new year? Hey there.
Hey, how are you?
Good. Can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. I can hear
Okay,
you.
cool.
So it's evening over there for you, right? You're West Coast?
I am. I'm in California, so it's just
Very
about 6
cool.
o'clock. Yep, just had some dinner.
Nice. How's your holiday season been so far?
It's been good. I'm glad it's over. I'm ready to get into the new year.
Yeah. So I was just explaining to everybody, you are a dog behavior specialist. How long have you been doing that now?
Oh, I've been working dogs for over 25 years, believe it or
Wow.
not.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. So I was letting them know that you do have another page as well called German Shepherd Country, and you have been doing trainings in person as well as online. The last time we spoke, we were getting ready to release training courses that included videos and everything so that people could really understand what it is that you're trying to teach them, correct? You're
Correct.
still doing that?
I'm still putting everything together. I have footage shot. I put something together that didn't quite work as planned, so I'm falling back to plan B, and I'm getting everything together to launch it and have training. I'll have have training. It'll be accessible from my website, and then I'll have links as well. Yes.
That's awesome. And I know from our previous conversations that you actually had a Facebook group that was very, very interactive, that people really seem to get a lot of, information and content out of there, able to help themselves a lot. So if you don't mind, let's start at the beginning. Where did you start? How did you start with dog training? And then from there, how did your entrepreneurial journey begin?
So I got started. I am a dog lover. We had a dog. I had dogs growing up, and we actually had Airedale Terriers. And
Oh,
I lived out in country. So our dogs did come in the house, but they were also kind of outside dogs. They slept inside at night, but our
mhm.
dogs just didn't listen. They weren't very well behaved. And
Okay.
I wanted to throw the ball and have them bring it back to me. I wanted some more
Yeah.
interaction. So I kind of told my younger self that when I get a dog, my dog is going to go everywhere and do everything. So I think I was about 2021. I got a German Shepherd puppy that I named Hannibal.
Oh,
And that is really how
they're
it all
such great
started.
dogs. Okay.
So
So
I
you just
started,
started yourself.
yep, I started training him, puppy socialization, doing obedience. I got into personal protection. And that is kind of like
Wow.
a bug that if that bites you, you either love it because it's a lot of work or you don't.
Yeah.
But it was like so cool, seeing your dog protect you, bite somebody, and so
Right.
I really got into that. And so then from there, I wanted to learn more. So I started doing as much as I could to learn behavior and reading body languages and doing like agility and tracking and sport work. So, working with other dogs. So that's
That's
how
so
I
cool,
got my
though.
start. And then it just kind of progressed from there. So yes,
But I love that. It started with just having a dog on your own, growing up with dogs, having a dog, deciding you wanted to train the dog. And it does take a lot of rapport,
it's a
even
lot
with
of
people,
work.
to have, for them to actually understand what you mean on cue almost. Like they can read you and
Correct.
they know what to do next. So that's
Correct.
amazing. And I want people to really understand this does not come like just automatically. It's not like innate. Some of it is innate, sense. The rest of it is you do your research and you try and you fail and you try and you fail and it kind of like you figure out what works best.
Correct. But
So I love that.
when it comes to training, I've had some people contact me like, how do I train? How do I get into it? And, you can take classes to become a dog trainer, but that doesn't mean, you may go through curriculum. Doesn't mean you really know how to, you can train a dog, but you may not know how to read a dog. And also
Right.
you need to read the owner, because the owner may be sending signals to
Right.
why the dog is doing something. So sometimes you have to, reel the owner in and say, hey, look, you're not aware of this, but here's what you're doing, right? And then it makes sense. So I always tell
And all of that
people,
comes with experience.
right, and that's why I tell people, just get started. You need to start training dogs. And just, I really got started. I wasn't getting paid. I had somebody that was willing to let me, I was playing hooky from work, and like every weekend I was going and like doing the grunt work for him. I was following him around. I was riding on the ATV. He was doing collar work with labs for bird work. So I learned, that's how I was really learning how to use the collar, because we had done my dog, right? But you have
Right.
to train other dogs, because
Yeah.
every dog is different.
And
And
every
I find
owner
that,
too is like double the work.
and even my dogs, right? I mean, I get a new puppy, I learn from each dog and I think, okay, but then a new dog has a whole new set of issues that I scratch my head and I say, okay, well, this dog is here to teach me this.
That's
So it's a
amazing. I
learning
love that.
process.
It
Yeah.
is, and it's not just with dogs. I love that you're saying all this because it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of experience. You have to go through a lot of dogs and a lot of owners and try a lot of different things before you know that there are
Well,
patterns.
and this parallels business, because you can do all the coursework, you can do all the studying, but until you actually do it and get into it and get involved and then realize, ooh, this doesn't work for me, or I need to tweak something, right? You don't know until you got to get out of your comfort zone, and you have to do it. And if it
Yeah.
doesn't work out, you say, okay, I learned from that, and here's what I'm going to do to make changes.
I love that you said that there is such a parallel
Yep.
because what I found is, I mean, you and I met through a training program, and I was able to get to know you a little bit better as far as that was concerned. But I also got, a lot of feedback from the program itself, and it was almost like people didn't get what they expected initially. But that isn't to say that you
Correct.
shouldn't try all of those things and then figure out what works best for you. So, you have to put it in the work. There's no shortcut. There is no
That
shortcut. You
there
can
is
learn from other
not.
people's mistakes, but you kind of have to make those mistakes a little bit too to see if that works for you or not,
And,
unfortunately.
and I totally get where you're coming from, and I know I've got things from the past where I've been disappointed in the outcome, didn't turn out like I expected to. I mean, I think that's just life, but I always fall back
Yeah.
on, I still have it, I still learned something from it,
Hmm.
right? And so it's still an experience. So, and then why is it not meeting your expectations? Because really, then it's going to fall back on you a little bit too. So,
Yes, exactly.
or it's a breakdown communication somewhere. So that's just, it just applies to everything. So yeah, so much with dog training is it's just when you break everything down and make it simple,
Hmm.
people go, oh, that makes so much sense. Your
Yes,
dog is doing this and this is why. And then they go, oh my
right.
goodness. Versus just saying, just do this. So that's my
Exactly.
big thing when I train, is I like to break everything down for people. So sometimes I probably over explain or talk too much, but that's so when they get a new dog, or maybe 2 or 3 years later, because dog
Hmm.
training, you train your dog and you're not done.
It's never ending.
It's always going to be things going on. But so
Hmm.
I'm trying to teach people how to read their own dogs and then be able to figure it out on their own. Why is my dog doing this, and what do I need to do to correct it, versus having to then go to a trainer.
Exactly. And
Yep.
so I think Gabrielle Berardo asked, yes, she is a dog trainer. You're a behavioral specialist for dogs,
Yes.
correct?
Yeah. Dog
Okay.
training. Absolutely. Yeah.
So
All the
I'm
basics.
just curious. So you started in real life doing all this actual work in real time, and then at some point you decided to take it online. How was that transition for you?
Oh, I did. So I was doing physical dog training. I've done the
Hmm.
obedience classes, the group of classes. I had training field, had agility equipment, was doing sport work. And I had life, life happened. I separated from my then husband, which we were training together. And I kind of walked away from everything. I just needed,
Oh,
I moved to a new city. So I kind of distanced myself.
okay.
And it took me a couple years. I still had my dog. It took me a couple years where, I was trying to figure out what I was really supposed to be doing.
Okay.
And I knew I wanted to be training. I want to be working with dogs, but
Yes.
the whole obedience, the one-on-one, it's very time consuming. And for me, it's a little bit frustrating because I can train your dog. I can train your dog. It's not training the dog, it's training the owners, right? And then people aren't consistent with coming to classes, and they do 30 minutes of obedience right before they're coming to class, right? And I can tell. So I decided I wanted to be able to reach more people, and that's when I decided I was going to take all my knowledge and I was going to put it out there on the internet and to reach as many people as possible. But mind you, when I did this, I had absolutely, like, I didn't know even what SEO was. So I didn't know how to make a website. I mean,
we all start at the beginning.
Right.
It's all good.
I didn't know hosting. I knew I could write.
Yeah.
So as I muddled through putting a site together, I started writing my own articles. And then my goal was to eventually write, produce and publish books. So that's then where we are, now. I kind of started screwing around with this online. Like, I hate to say it, 2008. It's taken me this long to get where I am.
But even then, you had to start. You started. A lot of people are like, I should, and they haven't even started yet. So, hey, you guys, a couple more days, and it's 2019. You might as well start. Just start.
And let me tell you, too, when I started, my website looked horrible. And the website, my German Shepherd Country website, is not the website that first started. So, that's just something where you just need to throw it up and start doing it, because you're never going to be satisfied. You're never going to be happy, right? And you're always tweaking. So the first website I created actually ended up evolving into German Shepherd Country. So here I am. Yes.
But that's the whole part of it. I like the fact that you brought up the realization that you can train a dog, you can train any dog, but the point is that dog is going to go back and live with the owner, and if the owner can't make that same connection, there's no point, and they'll be happy to blame you for whatever. But it is connecting with your owner so that they can do what you're able to do. And I think people misunderstand what coaches do. That's what a coach is. I'm not here to fix all your problems for you. You got to do the work. But I can show you how to get there.
Right. Right. So I think that's the difference. I like to title myself as a dog behavior specialist, because when it comes to training, it's really about behavior. Yes. And it's about, changing the dog's behavior. And so let's break down to, I'm also a psychology major. Why is the dog doing this? So is the dog doing it because you're triggering it through your body language, through your voice, and you don't even know it? Or is it just because, we need to go through some fundamentals of getting the dog to comply or to listen? But dog training is really about training the owner. And then giving the owner tools then to be able to say, okay, I see that, I get it, I'm going to put a stop to it. Right. Because dogs are like kids. You give them an inch,
I was going to say that actually. It is like
that's right. They'll take a mile. That's right. So you got to stay on them.
Which also means that they're forever evolving, just like the owner is forever evolving. So once you teach them what to expect, you were talking about speaking too much or, explaining too much, it doesn't matter, because somewhere along the line, the behavior will change and you will change. Or something will happen and everything will change. So if you know that information to begin with, more is better than not enough. Right. Yeah, exactly.
Your dog
I'm happy about that.
2 is going to be a lot different than 6 months. Your dog at 4 is going to have made changes versus 2. So, and there's dogs are like people, they pick up habits and they get away with it. Now all of a sudden you have a new
thing.
Right. So when new owners get dogs and get puppies and they think, okay, I'm going to do beginning obedience and advanced obedience and I'm going to be done. It's like, no, you guys are living together. It's a relationship.
It is. I was going to say that. It's almost like husband, wife, mother, child, whatever the case may be. Sometimes it's helpful to have a third party who can be objective and notice those things that they take for granted, those initial reactions that you see between the dog and the owner that they don't realize, they don't notice anymore. It's like normal for them.
Exactly.
So,
exactly. It's a new set of eyes. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Fresh. Yeah, exactly. So that's exactly correct. So my biggest challenge is not training dogs. It's connecting with people and getting them, excited and getting that aha moment of they get it and they're going to start working on it. And I try to empower people to where you don't need to be calling me and coming back to me a year later. It's like, try to figure it out yourself. Right. And then if you can't work it out, then when you call me, at least you can tell me, okay, I tried this and I tried this. And I'm going to be like, okay, good. Process of elimination. Now here's what you need to do. Or here's what we need to try. Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that. There are so many parallels between relationships, just human relationships, between business, all of
Yep.
these things come down to really connecting with whoever your audience is and really being able to teach them the knowledge that you've tried so hard, you know, the trial and errors that you've been through to be able to, you know, pass on that knowledge. So I love that you
Absolutely.
do this. Now, something that blew me away when we were initially talking way back, what was this, like June of this year, maybe? I don't
A
know.
while ago.
Yeah, you have an amazing following on Facebook, where a lot of people have groups now, but they're not connecting
Correct.
the way that you can. I am blown away by that. What was your experience? How did that, you know, how did that start?
So I had my previous website, and early on I created a Facebook page for it, and I didn't know how to do Facebook for business. You know, I had my personal
Yeah.
page. I so really wasn't doing anything. I didn't know how to grow it. You know, I would post every once in a while. I didn't have
Hmm.
any followers. I didn't know what to do. So I actually, I have a mentor that I basically followed his advice and, you
Hmm.
know, did what he said to do. And I created German Shepherd Country. You know, I went to see, I had to check to see names that were available. And then I
Hmm.
didn't have my GermanShepherdCountry.com website. So
Okay.
originally I was gonna name this something different, but the domain was taken. So, you know,
Ah, got it. Yeah.
that's a good thing because I
Yes.
really like, you know, my name now. So I started creating the page, and it's a matter of, it's dedication. I was in a program, following a program
Okay.
to create and build successful Facebook pages in the pet niche.
Okay.
And the recommendation was to pick a top 10 pet, one of the most popular top 10 breeds. Well, so I'm already in the top 1 to 3 consistently every year. So I was like, okay, this is, you know, where was this a couple of years
Easy.
ago for me, right?
Right.
Yeah. So I think the big thing is I learned how to create content,
Mhm.
and I live, eat, and breathe Facebook. My page is over 200,000 followers, so it's
Yeah,
very
that's why I was
active.
like, whoa, why?
So I'm constantly monitoring to make sure everybody's playing nice. But in the
Mhm.
beginning, I had to do some investment of promoting the page for likes, for followers.
Mhm.
And they're not paid followers. It was just promoting people who already like your page and
So
other
you can get in
people who
front of the
like.
audience, basically.
Right,
Yeah.
you get in front, and then it's up to them to come visit my page and like it. So
Right.
there was some advertising. I did spend some money to pull some people in, and then, as anybody knows on social media, once you start getting that snowball going, then right, the more people you have, the more people who see it, the more people who share, it just becomes
Right.
easier.
Yes.
So I had a really big goal to reach 100,000 followers, which I did, I think, in about a year. And I was
That's amazing.
working it hard. And then after that, I was still working it, but I wasn't so focused on the numbers. And I really haven't been on my page. I'm
Mhm.
currently up over, I don't know, I think about 206,000 followers on Facebook. But on my page, I post like 7 to 9 times per day. And that is a lot.
It is.
And
That's a
in the
lot of
beginning,
content.
well, in the beginning, I was like really nervous about posting that much, right?
Uh-huh.
Just thinking I'm just going to be blowing up everybody's feed, but we come back down to Facebook's algorithm. And so even though I'm posting 8 times a day, somebody may only be seeing my post every third day.
Right. Yeah, now
Unless,
that it's like not
right.
chronological or anything.
So, and I mean, I do have my people on there who, like, they comment on every post. They're constantly posting pictures. You know, I do have my
Right.
core people who I know they're seeing all my content,
Yeah.
or they're coming to my page. But exactly, it's a lot of content. And so I repurpose my content, and I actually use, I get some of my content from my members. I encourage for them to share their dog photos,
Awesome.
right? And then I
Yeah.
repost. Yeah.
Right, of
So,
course. And that
yep.
that includes the community a little bit more. They feel really, you know, that they have a tie with you
Absolutely.
personally, and absolutely they will be loyal followers from
Absolutely.
then
Well,
onwards.
and people get their dog featured, and then they're so excited. And what are they doing?
Yeah,
They're tagging all of their family
they're
members. They're
sharing.
all
Yeah.
sharing. Absolutely. So I didn't exactly learn that from the course. Like my first memes, I didn't know how to make memes, and I started out making memes, and I was basically using a lot of pictures of my dog. My
Hmm.
first memes, I don't think I have any of them left that I'm using, because, you know, I look back at them, right? It's like, oh,
You've
they were
cleared them
bad.
up.
Right,
Hmm.
right. It was like, oh, those are really bad. I can just instantly say, like, oh, that was the beginning days. So I've evolved in making memes,
Yeah.
and I've got themes going on my page. But the big thing is really, it's connecting. And when
Yeah.
people comment, I mean, I am liking or commenting back on just about every post. I mean, for the most part, I'm really monitoring. I have filters set for foul language. And, you know,
Okay.
sometimes people just sometimes, people are people, and they start going back and forth.
That's
And
true.
you gotta step in and be the adult and
Yep,
stop it. Yeah, when it starts to go south. So again,
exactly.
it's like sometimes, yeah, everyone just doesn't play nice. But for the most part, everybody's there as dog lovers. And I got people on there that don't own German Shepherds. It's not an
Hmm.
exclusive, page. You don't have to be accepted to join. And then so much is a lot of my people on my page, they have German Shepherds, but they also may have a lab, or they may have an
I
Australian
was going to
Shepherd,
ask that next,
right?
actually. So, yeah,
Or a
this
pug.
works for all dogs
Yeah.
in general, right?
They have more than one dog. And my website, I do have a lot of content specifically targeted for German Shepherds, but I also have a lot of content that is just general dog knowledge, hip dysplasia, how to, change your dog's diet, so a
Right,
lot of it is, like I said, some of it is breed specific, but a lot of it's just general dog knowledge.
right. I
So I'm
love
trying
that.
to capture, even though I niche down my niche, I'm still trying to capture, anybody who wants to come and visit.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
the fact that we started this conversation with the fact that we're connecting with owners, we're connecting with dogs, there's general behaviors that, that tend to have a certain reaction or whatever. So,
Correct.
yeah, okay, you've named it German Shepherd Country, but it's
Yeah.
all dogs, it's all owners, it's people who
And
really genuinely want to learn.
right. And so, my specialty is in working dogs, is, sporting dogs, German Shepherds.
Okay.
But if I can train a German Shepherd, I can train, I can train a pug. I can train, a smaller dog. The basic concepts are the same. And then it goes back to, right, I can read a dog. So,
Exactly.
the methods and the techniques I'm going to use are probably going to be a lot different from a 15-pound dog to, an 85-pound dog.
Right.
Right. And a small dog doesn't need the same corrective measures or, as a larger dog or a dog with more drive. But that's just, again, that comes from experience. So,
And it comes
I
from
don't,
reading the dog
it
initially and
does.
all of that.
I
Yeah.
don't work a lot of small breeds, but I can. It's just
Yeah.
dog training is dog training. Yeah.
I love
So
that.
sometimes I
So,
get
so
niched
much
into,
experience.
yeah,
Yeah, I can
sometimes I
imagine.
get niched into the, I only train German Shepherd. It's like, no, it's like I recently trained somebody who had she called him Jaggerdiddle. He's a mix. He's like a Newfoundler and like a poodle mix. And he's about 70 pounds. And
Wow.
just
Okay.
basic stuff. He was pulling and not
That's a
listening,
big
right?
dog.
And yeah, they're pretty big dogs. But it was just
Mhm.
like, yeah, no, I'll help you out. I can train him. It's like, come on over.
That's awesome. I love it. So this year, where you were when I first started speaking to you, getting to know you and everything, and where you are now, what is maybe one or two of the biggest things that you've learned business-wise or even with the dogs in general with your particular business?
Business wise, I'm struggling with, trying to do it all, time management. Now, so much time management, I'm good with time management, except for it's like I never get everything done. So I need to
Right.
focus more
And
on
being okay with that?
I need to focus more on like what's important, because it comes back to, right, a lot of us were always busy, but what are
Yeah.
we getting accomplished, right? So I need to
Right, right.
focus on the goals that get to the next level.
I
So
was just
that's one
thinking
of,
about that
yep,
too, for me.
that's one of the things I need to work on. And I think also just promoting myself more, getting more out of my comfort zone, putting myself out there. I really want to, 2019, grow and promote my brand.
Well, I'm here
So
anytime you want to jump on, let's talk. But in the meantime, what's something that you're super proud of for this year? Something you really was a big win for you, maybe.
big win for me this year is I was laid off from my corporate job, and I am still self-employed. And yep, I'm making it happen, making it work. It's a little bit of a struggle. Sometimes it's a little worrisome, but
I can imagine.
I'm in it for the long haul, and I've got a big goal in sight that I'm hoping to obtain in February of 2019.
Okay.
And that's just going to take some financial pressure off of me and probably reduce my time, because I'm going to be even more busy being stretched in different directions, but it's going to be all good. So yeah, one of the things I'm proud of most, I think, is that I have not given in. And I know I talked to you a couple times where
Yeah.
I was fearful, and it was like things aren't working out in this timeline, and you got family and people pressuring you with like,
Yeah.
you need to get a real job, you need to knock it off,
Yeah.
you need to grow up. And it's kind of like, right, people don't see your vision, they don't get it. And I've just, I've kept the faith. And the biggest thing is I believe in myself.
I believe in
So
you. I am blown away by you. There's no way you're going to fail at this. I don't see it. I'm sorry. You've done all
so
the work. You have all the content out there. If you aren't already, please go follow this young lady. Her name is Amy Morford. If you wouldn't mind, it's just GermanShepherdCountry.com, correct?
yeah, my website is GermanShepherdCountry.com. IG handle is just German Shepherd Country. I'm
Yep.
also on Pinterest for German Shepherd Country, and you can,
Awesome.
yeah,
And that's
absolutely.
underutilized, actually. I'm really glad you're on Pinterest. There are a
I
lot of
am,
people buying from
I've
Pinterest.
been on Pinterest, and I'm just now the past month. I really, again, every social media network, you got to learn it. You got to
Everything
tweak
is
it. You
different.
got to,
Yep.
everything is different. So I've been on it, and I really haven't been working it. And the past month, I was like, I'm going to get my numbers up. I'm going to start. Yeah. But it also comes back down to everybody, if you're watching this and you're trying to grow your accounts, I use a scheduler for Facebook. I use a scheduler for Instagram. I'm not using a scheduler for Pinterest yet, but I am using some growth help. So
Okay.
I know starting out it's hard because you don't have money, you're broke, you're struggling. But I mean, there's no way I could be posting 8 times a day on Facebook without scheduling it.
Right, of course.
And then I'm posting on 2 accounts on Instagram. So you need to define your goals, and you need to look at, your time versus your effort versus money. And that, this way I can lay out content for a month and I don't have to worry about it.
Exactly.
If
And
something
like you were saying,
happens,
if you're doing it physically every time, right,
you
there's
can't.
other things you're not really
Right.
doing then.
Right. I'm not making my posts from my phone. I'm not trying to do hashtags from my phone. I got everything going. Am I
Right.
checking in on all my accounts on my phone? Am I monitoring everything from my phone? Absolutely. But
Right.
there's just, I tried doing that on Instagram where it's like, oh, I need to post. Or I had in the beginning where you were getting the email of, you need to post it now. And I'm in a
Right.
meeting, right? And it's like, you can't. And then
Yeah.
you forget like 3 hours later and you're like, well, crap, should I even bother? Right?
Yeah.
So I really recommend to everybody, I do have some success with social media. It's been a learning process, but, dig into your pocket a little bit, maybe cut back on some Starbucks or eliminate some things.
Yep.
And right, you need to make some sacrifices, and you need to take it seriously, and you need to take it as a business, and you need to be posting consistently. And that's the biggest thing I learned from Facebook is, again, in the very beginning when I was being told I need to be posting like 4 to 6 times, very, very beginning, I only had like 500 followers. I was thinking like I was going to post too much and people were going to leave my page, right? And
Yeah.
this is actually, I started the Facebook page on 2015. So things have changed a whole lot even from
Of course.
then, right? And then it's like, once I started doing it, I was just like, it's just getting over that hurdle where now I just don't even think about it. It's just like, and sometimes I'll throw in a couple extra posts because it's like, what difference does it make, right? Someone's going to see it, right?
Exactly. You might as well post it when you're thinking about it. So yeah, I totally understand that.
Absolutely. But yeah, even on Pinterest, I'm struggling right now because I'm just still getting the concept and getting stuff put together, but I'm not posting consistently on Pinterest. I'm recycling posts on Pinterest, but that's the biggest thing I think I would tell anybody on social media. If you could only have the time to do one and do it well and master it.
You're a master of that already. You're showing us right now.
Repurpose your content and then go to another platform where you, right? I mean, like Instagram, my Facebook posts I can use on Instagram. Yeah. Pinterest has finally come around where they're not penalizing you for not using the tall, skinny posts. They are actually now giving you some credit for the square post, because that's really why I wasn't posting on Instagram.
It didn't fit.
Twitter, man, I just can't even do Twitter. It's just like, and then people are doing LinkedIn. I mean, there's just too many networks. So
there are so many networks.
Yeah. Pick at least one, get really good at it, and then pick another network where you can utilize the same content. And then, you already got it. So,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So
if you haven't already learned,
adding it in, yeah.
If you haven't already learned, this woman is amazing. She actually really knows what she's talking about. For her to be so successful on Facebook and now very successful on Instagram, and now she's moving to Pinterest, you guys, that means that all of us, no matter where we are in our business, we're continually evolving, we're continually finding new platforms to reach our audience. So no one has it all together, okay? That's just this crazy illusion. There's no way.
Nobody does. And I know I talked to you over the summer, and I was a hot mess. I had kind of been hacked on my Facebook page.
I remember that. It was panic. Super panic.
Yes, I had over 200,000 followers. I got hacked. A little bit my fault. Not hacked enough where, I got my page back. It took a couple weeks, and I had promised my firstborn to Facebook. I mean, it was just crazy, crazy, crazy. But lesson learned. But right, I mean, things happen. So you
Yep.
just, again, that was a learning lesson. And I probably lost about 5 pounds from that whole episode.
I remember it was some dark times,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. I was a little bit on meltdown, but right, come back stronger. Right, and had
Exactly,
people
exactly. And now
reaching
you know
out
what to look
saying,
for.
I know what to look for. You know, all these scams that are online. There's stuff going on Instagram too. People, I know, I heard something where people are reaching out saying they want to, I don't know, advertise on your page or something, and they're sending you to a link that looks like a credible link, right?
Yeah.
Anybody who's reaching out saying, you know, we want to give you all this money, or, you know, just be suspicious, you know?
Be
Yeah, check
careful.
it
That's
out.
your money. You worked
That's
hard,
right.
so yeah. Do
That's
it
what
yourself if you can.
Google is your friend. So, you
Exactly.
know, Google the heck out of everything.
Yeah. Ask
Absolutely.
questions. Absolutely.
Yep.
Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate your time. This has been so much fun. And like I said, you have stuff coming on in, January, February. You have a deadline for February. Let me know if you wouldn't mind coming back on here. I would love to tell everybody what you're working on.
Absolutely. Hey, girl, I'm thinking about putting together a little, really quick meme course on creating memes from your phone from a free
That would
app.
be
What do you
awesome.
think? All
Do
right. All
that.
right.
Do that.
I'll
Because
add that to
people
my
do it, but
list.
it's not effective. I know you've evolved your meme working, so yes, do
Yeah.
that. That
Yeah.
would be fun.
All right. Love you,
I
girl.
love you guys. Thank you so much, you guys, for joining in, and I will catch you all again later. Look for this on Facebook. I will be posting it back on Facebook and YouTube as well shortly. Okay? Thank you so much. Take care, Amy.
All right. Awesome. Love you.
Love you too. Bye.